everybody, Stephen Gripp here with Insurasales Live, coming to you at the 8% conference. It's been total chaos, but in a good way. It's been so crazy. I have here Roy Snarr with me, Retirement Solutions. Roy, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, thanks so much, Stephen. Appreciate you being here. What we do, we focus on asset-based long-term care. We do a lot of other strategies in the insurance space, but the main thing that we do is asset-based long-term care. So we help thousands of people each year understand the value of it, fill in the gaps of Medicare. We also help agencies, agents, and advisors implement long-term care into their practice because it's one of the most underutilized tools in the financial services space.
Awesome. So my first question is, how long have you been doing this?
Wow, I got my license when I was right at 22, so about 12 years from now.
Okay,
yeah.
So you have been in the business for quite some time.
I have been.
Yeah.
Now, when I first got my license, I wasn't too focused. I was like, 21, 22, right? There were other things on my mind. I was in college, but so we've been full-time in this industry for over a decade.
Really? So I'm gonna pivot off of that. So
Sure.
you got your license at 22 while you were in college or when you left?
I was in college still.
Okay, so what drove you to this industry, being in college?
That's a good point. I mean, I didn't grow up as a young kid saying I wanted to grow up and sell insurance. That was not my goal.
That's a very, very bold move.
It is, and my whole family background is blue collar, right? So grew up doing commercial logging, construction, nothing with financial or insurance or business per se.
Right.
But my mother became disabled when I was 14. Somebody ran a stop sign and hit her. And at that time, the only thing that we had money-wise, we lost the house, car, everything, was a Social Security disability income check. That was it. And at 14, I had no idea what that is, right? And so as I was older, started learning more about financial services, went to college, started studying it, I was always passionate about how could we protect a situation like that.
It clicked.
It clicked for me. And I love talking with people, and this is such a great industry where we get to service them, we can make a great living, and help them fill in those voids so maybe they don't have to go through what we went through.
Right. So you're in college, you started this business 12 years ago. What was it like when you first started? Were you overwhelmed by...
Of course, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I had no background in business. I'm not very tech savvy.
Right.
So I graduated high school in 2006, right? So that's when YouTube was coming out, Facebook was popular. Never had any of that. I didn't even have a cell phone until senior year. I didn't want one, right? And so learning about the insurance space was pretty overwhelming initially. But what I did is I took the time, I read, I studied, I talked to everybody in the room that did insurance. And then YouTube started becoming more popular, and I started watching YouTube videos and going to conferences and just staying with it. And it was a big challenge for the first few years. I worked part-time jobs and wasn't sure if it was for me or not, but after having an assessment, I'm like, I really enjoy this. How can I make a living out of it and build a legacy? And that's what we decided to do. So.
See, that's what people need to hear because, I mean, it's called 8% because it's the 8% success.
That's correct.
So what was something that kept you persevering? Because you're getting overwhelmed, you're new to this business, you're probably seeing a lot of pitfalls as well as successes. What kept you persevering?
Lack of options. So I didn't have a choice.
Okay.
I didn't want to go work for a company 9 to 5. I'm not a good employee just because, you're going to tell me when to go to the bathroom, when to go on vacation, right? And so I was like, I got to make this work. And I may not be the smartest person, but I'm very determined and I care. And I knew that those two together, I can make it work. So I would sit at Starbucks and talk to people about insurance. I would door knock. And I just wanted it, right? Anybody could have it. I saw other people being equally successful, early in their career. I was like, I want to be able to do that. How can I accomplish that? And I just kind of mimic what they did. And the biggest thing is just don't be afraid. But it does take time. And most agents, to your point of the 8%, they drop out in the first year or two.
They do.
They think it's instant gratification. Nothing comes fast. If this was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? There's a reason why not that many people are successful in it.
No, I mean, totally true. Now, you've been in the business for 12 years. What are some things, especially in your particular industry, have you seen change over time?
A lot more paperwork. That's number one.
Yeah.
But besides that, the underwriting guidelines for a lot of the life insurance and annuity products for the long-term care, they have changed, but a lot of product enhancements. Things are getting more consumer friendly in my personal opinion, where especially in the interest rate environment that we're in, insurance companies can offer better planning tools and strategies. But the other big thing is technology, right? Because now we can have LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and so it's so much easier to reach a more massive population. But it also creates a challenge to distinct yourself because other people are doing so, right? And so one of the things that we always try to encourage agents and advisors to do is make yourself different, right? I mean, so that was one of the biggest things I think changed over the time, because in the past, you didn't have to have like your own book or a white label book or anything, or a Facebook or a website. You didn't have to have a website 12, 15 years ago, right? But now you do, right? You got to show credibility beyond them just liking you. You got to create this perceived value. And so that's why we help agents also with white label book programs too. So,
and how have you embraced cost fluctuation within your products and your services?
So, I mean, it's a roll with the punches, right? We don't control it, right? Sometimes people try to negotiate like a life insurance rate or a long-term care rate. It's like, I wish I could, but we're not at the flea market. This is determined by actuaries that are way smarter than all of us, by billion-dollar insurance firms that have been around for over 100 years, right? So price fluctuations are what they are. Luckily, we have some tailwinds for us because people are living longer, which makes a lot of the insurance products less expensive, and rates are coming up, so insurance firms are more profitable, so it's in our favor right now.
Yeah, it looks like you almost have to be preemptive to these cost fluctuations to make sure you're in the front lines.
You do.
So you can be letting your clients know what's going to be coming.
Well, 100%, and that's also a way that we help them sooner than later, right? Because it's not like a closing technique saying, hey, in all reality, this thing's going to keep getting more and more expensive unless you get it now. And the thing that we don't want to have you do is wait 6 months and then, boom, you get a heart attack or stroke. Now you can never have it.
Exactly.
If you're eligible and you understand it, you should get it sooner than later.
100%. That's really good. That's really good. All right, so to wrap up here, how long? How long have you been coming to the 8%? Is this your first time?
I've known the Askins teams for a while, but this is my first actual 8% event.
Okay, very cool. And so, I mean, we've only been here a couple hours, but what do you plan to take away from this place?
Well, the biggest thing I would take away is more relationships, right? The biggest thing I get out of these events, I get to meet people like yourselves, learn about new companies and products and solutions, and just meet other teams and talk to them. I still talk to everybody I see walk around like, hey, how'd you build your agency? How do you do it? What are you doing for marketing? And I tell everybody what I'm doing, get to learn from them. So that's the biggest thing is relationship value for me.
I love it. I love it. Well, Roy, it has been a pleasure. Come back anytime.
Yes, sir.
I really enjoyed your story. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, guys. Check out Roy Snarr. He's been walking around. Ask him any question you want.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.